And we're off. So welcome back, welcome guys, welcome to my channel. So this is the Kaboom Handicap race up the Alpe to Zwift, and the way they set it up is depending on your handicap time, people set off at different times, kind of like a time trial. So I was the first to start since I'm the slowest of the bunch, and had a handicap of 71 minutes. So I started 71 minutes before the finish time, the anticipated finish time. And so that was my goal. And you'll see towards the end, didn't reach the goal. So this is coming around turn number 20. Went way too hard up the first turn. And then still doing my best to hold about 250 watts here. I'm on my Shimano 105, 39 in the front and 25 in the back, and just doing my best to try and keep about mid 200, so 230, 250 around there, depending on the elevation, which is really just me trying to hold a certain cadence. Kind of stay in the 50s to hold that wattage. You'll see little by little I end up slowing down. So this is my first time going up the Alpe with a smart trainer. Previous times I've gone up the Alpe was with my fluid trainer, which was great. You know, fluid trainers are, I think, tough for a purpose. And the way they work is basically it's a oil inside of the fluid trainer, and so kind of like the water pump in your car, it will, the faster the turbine spins inside the fluid trainer, the more difficult it gets. And so it can work great at low speeds, and then at high speeds it gets a lot harder to turn over. So that was great for me starting off, but once I started working more actively on Zwift, and right now about 20 something weeks in, almost 30 weeks, I got about 20 something weeks ago I got a smart trainer. I wanted to do more, and so this is my first time going up the Alpe with the smart trainer. I have a Elite Diretto, a really old trainer from 2018. Bought it secondhand, replaced the belt, and it's worked great for me. It's got a maximum incline of 14%, so it's perfect for climbs like this, because it don't technically max it out, and gives me the ability to, really see what I'm made of. And so as you can see, my numbers are staying in the low 200s now. I'm starting to fade a little bit as I'm getting up to these turns, and depending on where I'm at, so starting to feel it a little bit. My right side, my right leg was just really starting to hurt. So it's the first person to pass me, Melissa, which was, man, she was gunning it. She was in the 3 watts per kilogram plus the whole time she was riding. She really did a great job getting up the Alpe. So my thought at this point was, if I can just keep her in sights on the map, then I can, kind of focus on keeping up. But as you can see, I'm staying in the low 200s. I get into the 100s when I'm on the flatter parts of the slope, so in the apex, in the corners, and then in the lower, 7%, 6%, 5% gradient, I end up in the upper 170s. I did have a couple instances that, like in this case that just passed, where my cadence rolled so slow that my trainer disconnected momentarily and then reconnected. Happens again in a little while on the video. And apologize for the so the bottom left thumbnail, it's not actually a thumbnail. That is me riding, but my video froze. It turns itself on at some point. I didn't realize it was frozen I think just about an hour into my ride, it comes back to life and starts recording. So you'll see what I end up looking like, especially as we get towards the top. So still going here, coming up to I think turn 9. Looking at it, and I gotta say I did better than I thought I would. I've gone up Mount Fuji. I've gone up, done a lot of climb portals, especially last month, in the pursuit of the 8848 for Strava, and Le Col, which I did earn that jersey, or at least earned a discount for the jersey since I didn't do it all in one day. All right, sorry about that. So now, we're getting to a point where people are starting to pass me a little bit more. I am struggling, having a hard time turning over the pedals. My cadence is in the low 50s, most often low 50s, upper 40s. And from my understanding with Zwift, I don't know if it's with Zwift and Strava or not Strava, Zwift and my Elite Dorado trainer, but once you get into the low 40s, the trainers start to have issues with keeping up with the cadence and can end up with a lot of dropouts. And so that's what starts happening to me here. I end up disconnecting for momentarily and then getting it to finally reconnect, which is frustrating. As you can see, my camera disconnected at the same time. I had quite a bit of weird issues. I just didn't know it while I was riding. And so at this point, I am, on turn 7, which is one of the harder, longer turns. And like I said, I'm struggling. I am, having a hard time turning over the pedals. I'm drinking what I can. I'm using the Element electrolytes. I'm using my typical amino acid that I use, muscle multiplier, to try and maintain my my nutrition while I'm riding. But it was just my right leg, specifically the little muscles under my right hip and glutes were just on fire. So I was struggling to get up this climb. And as I'm, coming up here to, I think this is turn 4. Or no, turn 6, 5. Yeah, so coming up to turn 4, I'm starting to really feel the negativity in my brain. It was mentally taxing at this point. I was, in a mental battle between, do I stop and give in, or do I keep going? My Achilles is, was starting to get tender at this point. Felt good up until, this point with my Achilles, which is still kind of in, a little bit tendonitis kind of stage, but getting better. I'm disconnected again at that, there, and it literally, like, not just my power disconnected for my trainer, but also my Wi-Fi disconnected, so it momentarily booted me, or put me by myself and then back in. Luckily, I was able to finish with the group and didn't get booted from the race. And so just at this point, looking at the turns and telling myself, I'm gonna be done. I'm gonna get to the top. I'm so close. I'm just gonna try and hold my cadence. You can see I'm back in the 220s, 210s. I'm starting to get my second wind. I'm still struggling, but starting to get my second wind. And did not want to quit at this point, especially since, it's coming up to the lower numbers. Again, another disconnect. This is where the Wi-Fi disconnected. I was fuming because every time I stop, I feel like I lose my momentum in my legs, which started happening more and more. And so starting back up after that dropout was tough. It was rough. So here we go, coming past turn 2. I believe, or turn 1 maybe. I'm looking at my screen. The screen's small. Oh yeah, so that would be turn 1 because I'm coming up to the top of the mount, and so the guys are cheering me on. I have them on the Discord chat, voice, so we're all talking together, which is kind of cool, like a group call. So they're all cheering me on. So I'm trying to hold mid 200s, low 300s to get to the top and just finish. So as soon as I get to the flat part, I was cooked. So my total time on the ride there was 1 hour and 37 minutes to the top of the Alpe, which included the initial start. But my actual time up the Alpe was 82 minutes, which I'm gonna say is a personal best for me, even though that's not my personal best for Zwift. Again, because this is my first time going up a smart trainer, so we're setting up to basically race to the bottom, which was a fantastic idea. I wish I had known that ahead of time. I forgot about, or I didn't realize we were going to do that, or I didn't know. And so we're setting up here, just trying to get ourselves in the start position, and then we're off. And I don't know where all of this energy came from, but I launched the sprints to do my best to hold, not only hold on to the back of the pack, but I figured at 92 kilograms, I could easily take some of these guys on the down slopes. And so I was doing my best to close the gap. I was a few seconds behind everybody, and little by little I start to close in the gap, and you'll see like every few seconds I'm launching sprints to try and push myself harder and harder, and I'm on the Tron bike at the request of the organizers, Swifter, and so we're little by little catching up and overpassing people, again using my weight to my advantage, as well as do my best to launch sprints in between some of the turns where it's a little bit flatter, or I know that the upcoming turn is much steeper. So I'm trying to hold 70 kilometers per hour, 80 kilometers per hour if possible. I still drop out some, but I end up somewhere mid-pack, and so yeah, so there's our climb. Absolutely great time, really awesome event, and hope you guys decide to join if it comes up available again. There you go.